I feel as if I don't record anything from my car, I don't look like a real boy. So I'm recording something from my car. The real show. 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 Okay, I went to the movies and I saw something on a whim. It was one of those. I like to go to movies sometimes and not know anything about what I'm going in. I'll go into the movie blind and I'll either enjoy it or I won't enjoy it. Um, so it's really just kind of a draw for certain things I'm interested in. So if I'm in the mood for an action movie and I see some poster that looks action-y, then I'll go ahead and go for it. I also like Indian movies or foreign movies. Mostly what's available to me now here is Indian movies, but um, historically I found uh, I enjoy the style of the different movies I've seen. Um, so I'll go and see one every now and again. I think the first one that I saw was a couple of years ago, Pushpa, which was really fun to watch. Um, and I knew there was a sequel coming out, and I'd been kind of low key looking for it here and there whenever I'd remember it, and I saw the trailer for it today when I went to see Kalki. Kalki 2898 AD, um, which was which is a Indian movie that came out a few weeks ago or last week or whenever it was. But I had no idea what it was about. Just saw the poster and I was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. And it was really good. I enjoyed it. I realized. So it's a 3 hour movie. And I realized well into it what I was getting into. How it was basically uh, epic or part of an epic. So there was that. Um, I'm a big fan of appreciating things for what they are. So when I go into movies blind, it's interesting for it makes it more fun for me. I think just trying to figure out, all right, well, what are they going for? What should I be expecting? Um, but not expecting at the same time. Kind of just kind of seeing what happens. So with this movie, it was pretty good timing. I think I've had a lot of interest in uh, Eastern culture in general. I've always have. More recently, I've been interested in um, uh, the. Let's see, I got it right over here. The Bhagavad. I can never say it right. Bhagavad Gita. There we go. So I've been interested in that. I've been writing it. I've used it as a practice to write and kind of a form of meditation, um, similar to reading passages from the Bible or something. Um, I'm just writing um, the passages from that in a notebook as I go. I just it's a I found it's a good way to focus on something. Gives me something to focus on. It's a way to meditate. So anyway, I've recently became interested in that through um, learning more about Hanuman, um, Lord Hanuman, through the the stories. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't the Bhagavad Gita. It was. Well, let's see. Let's look it up. Oh, actually, Monkey Man. I saw that. Um, but oh yeah, the what is it called? The Ramayana, which I was pronouncing wrong. I was saying the Ramayana for the longest time. It's the Ramayana. Um, but anyway, so I've started listening to stories and reading um, this or reading translations of this, the Ramayana, and which is interesting. I like hearing or learning about just um, stories, religious stories. I think they're fascinating because that's where all the movies and modern day stories come from. They're all taken from this, which reminds me of Kalki. Because as I was watching it, like I said, I didn't know what to expect going into it, so um, I could definitely see where things were being taken from other things, even though it's based. I guess it's well, I guess it's based on inspired by Hindu scriptures. So it's inspired by Hindus. Oh, wow, even looking at the poster, I mean, it looks like it looks like what it is. It's an amalgamation of science fiction. It's fine. It's good. I like it. Um, it's just very. Is there a way to zoom in a little bit better? It's a little choppy, but um, yeah. So I guess without spoiling it, because I'm going to do this in a couple different parts. I'll start off uh, by saying that it's by not spoiling anything. So if you want to go into this blind, here's the poster. The basic premise is, like I said, it's a Hindu movie based on stories from Hindu scripture. This does not take place then, but it takes that story and brings it into the future. And it's it's what this picture is. It's what I mean. I think this describes the movie accurately. If you look at this and say that looks interesting, I might enjoy that. Then yeah, see that. If you look at this and say that looks familiar, and why are they ripping everything off in one picture? Um, don't see this movie because you're just gonna be angry, and I don't want that for you. Don't be angry. All right, so that's the going in blind version. The um, just to go over it, I suppose let's look it up and oh, my my thoughts on it were is good. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's 3 hours long. I nodded off in a couple of spots, but I felt comfortable nodding off when I did. It was like it was okay. You know, I don't think I missed anything in those scenes, and yeah, I think I got what was going on. A lot of that had to do with the fact that it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's it's if you've seen Star Wars, you've seen the plot. If you've seen Avengers, you've seen the plot. Um, there's a lot of this is derived from a lot of things, but it's fine for me. It was good. It was good enough. Um, So Kalki 2998, 2024 epic science fiction film. Yep. Um, First installment in a planned Kalki cinematic universe. So this is where it got me interested in it even more than it was because so as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, well, this is clearly going to be a sequel. I get where there's going, and then they have this scene that goes ahead and tells you, yes, okay, there is going to be a sequel. Excuse me. And then it says like the Kalki cinematic universe or whatever, and on the screen, it's just like whoa. So I'm interested in this Kalki cinematic universe. I'm interested to see what comes. I might become just like a nerd for it for no reason. I'll become like number one fanboy for Kalki cinematic universe. So it's a post-apocalyptic, yes, and it's basically my reference is Jesus Christ. Um, I'm not a practicing. I'm not a Christian. I'm not. I don't have a religious um, preference, organized religious preference. Uh, but I'm familiar with the story of Jesus Christ because it's a popular story. Just as I'm familiar with other stories of other religions. Story of Hanuman. And I'm now more familiar with stories from the Ramayana and the Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu and all that jazz because of Kalki. But basically, it's the pregnant woman with the child, unborn child, and there are people protecting the unborn child and the woman as a result of protecting the unborn child. There's a big history that's set up. There's weapons that can't be touched. There's immortality. Uh, there's um, mistaken identity or forgotten identity. There's a lot going on. Um, let's see. So what else? Yeah, shot sporadically in several legs. So that's one thing I did. I feel like it is the most expensive Indian film. Okay, I feel they definitely put a lot of money into it, um, but it seemed like you could tell that they you could tell that they did the best they could. So it wasn't going to be. I mean, really, it is a Star Wars of today. I suppose. Like if you're gonna put it on production level, they were, I think, pushing their limits of what they had the budget to do, and I think they did fine. It was entertaining. It was good. Um, it for a someone who wants to be mad at something, this is easy to be mad at. Um, easy pickings. But I feel like when you have a movie like that where it's so obvious of a point to pick apart, if I'm gonna be looking for points to pick apart, I don't think it's why. If it's that easy, then that's called out. What else is wrong with it? And there wasn't anything. I didn't, like I said, it was a good movie. So this plot here, following the Kuruk Kurukshetra War, Ashwarthar. Okay, yeah. So in the movie, they set up this story where you kind of see the beginning. There's a chariots fighting each other, and people are firing arrows, and somebody I couldn't quite sell in subtitles because I don't understand Teglu Tiglu Telugu. I don't understand Telugu, and it's all subtitled, so that's fine. But I was trying to follow along um, with their opening plot as much as possible, and it's basically um, somebody ends up doing something that curses his the rest of his life and sets him on a path to protect somebody later on down the line, and that all comes to play. And there's like a hero who's it's like they wanted to take all of the cinematic universes, or take some of the most popular pieces of it and pull it in, and they did that. I think um, for the most part, you got your elements of the Hulk. So for the Avengers or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you've got your um, your engineer. You've got your engineer trope. You've got your and when I say trope, I mean like they're just copying. Um, it's not even really a trope. I mean, it is to an extent, but I guess it's just copying that. But they kind of defined it. Like I guess they put the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Avengers specifically kind of like really made those stand out. Those character types stand out. So anyway, so you got your engineer, your smart person. You got um, your cocky person. You've got your romantic, um, sly type dog. What am I talking about? Sly dog romance. I don't know what that person is. I don't want to like. I'm trying to do this without naming characters specifically. So if I'm making sense, then you'll be able to tell anyway. If I'm not making sense, then you'll be able to say I have no idea who that would be. So and I was wrong, um, but yeah, all of those characters there, and in a smaller amount of characters, like basically one character encompasses a lot of those characters. And then there's the storytelling side of it, the like space opera part of it. Um, Everything that um, if you've never seen Star Wars before, then you wouldn't notice. If you've seen Star Wars before, then everything kind of stands out like, oh, that's this, oh, that's this. But I will say, um, there were a couple things that surprised me when they did show up. And in that, I was like, oh, that's that, but it's different. So I'll give it to you. You've actually taken this and changed it around a little bit. But there were certainly tropes from it. I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised, that they didn't have like the sliding screen changes like they do in Star Wars. Because I mean, they had plenty of scene changes. It's so many stories going on. I mean, there's probably not even that many stories going on, but it feels like there's a lot of stories going on. And there are characters in there that I know were in there, and I just don't know if they died or not. Like, I remember, I feel like they were important at one point, um, but maybe my nodding off when I nodded off were not at the best times to nod off. So, um, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good. Yeah, there's definitely locations that are secret locations that are revealed, and and the people must protect themselves. Yeah, I mean it's all. So I'm just scrolling through this Wikipedia here to see if there's anything. After the success of Mahanadi, what's Mahanadi? Um, Production, Kalki and Avatar of Hindu. Okay, Kalki is Vishnu. I got that from the movie. I learned a little bit. Mahabharata War. See the Kurukshetra War, also called the Mahabharata War, is a war described in the Hindu epic poem Mahabharata, arising from a dynastic struggle between two groups of cousins, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, for the throne of Hastinapura. The war is used as context for the dialogues of the Bhagavad. Oh, words. Anyway, I mean, I think that's it. There's not much more I can say about this movie. It was go check it out. It's fun. The clearly the responses on it are look pretty good. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb. I think that's good. 81% Rotten Tomatoes. Check it out. It's worth it. 3 hours. I mean, it's a long time. Don't get me wrong, but fun. Go enjoy yourself. وشويرد 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 راح نمس مس ملوك المس ويرد ولا ما راح نمس مسمين حدروك درعونا في زاوية